Because that's what I love is like there's so much in your videos about like how you deal, like you'd have teammates like checking for potential threats, and you were showcasing the kit that you'd have and how you'd plan it, and like you go into this amazing amount of detail, and it's such a high pressure volume you do. I mean, I come from like the Highlands in Scotland, so like we were originally from a place called 2 hours away from the local, the nearest hospital. So
Right.
if you get somebody maybe crash a like in a farm accident, or they would have like a bleeding leg, so you'd have to be airlifted. And I found like you would get treated, you'd understand some basic care, but the second it was something more serious, people panicked. So that's why I'm always so impressed with people like you who can deal with that situation, and you're there to make sure that somebody who's being apprehended is actually treated safely, securely, that dealing with any bystanders, etc. It's phenomenal the work you do. I mean, you should be so proud of yourself, but you have such a range as well. I noticed, like, you do paramedics at games, you've done paramedics at hiking, SWAT medics, you've been in an ambulance, you've done, I think you were a part time firefighter as well.
For
You've
a
got
while.
such an idea of like the scope of these services. How would you create a more like ebb and flow, more fluid version, so that, because I noticed that you've done training of other people. How would you do it, set it up so that like police have a bit more understanding of what paramedics can do? They have the skills of the standard. The firefighters could do a bit more, so you didn't have standalone services. It was kind of merged together. Is that your kind of overall goal?
It's funny because actually kind of the opposite for me. I think there is a base level of knowledge that everybody needs, and
Mhm.
that's the high yield things that they do. So, every if I had my way, every person, regardless of emergency services, would know basics of bleeding control, which is essentially wound packing with a t-shirt, and CPR and how to recognize a stroke and a heart attack. If you can do all of those things, that is the highest yield training you can have to actually save lives. Like there's a lot of minutia in there. There's a lot of things that you could optimize, make somebody's day a little bit better, maybe give them a little bit more of a chance. But those things will actually save somebody's life, and it takes less than an hour of training to really get people good at that and to recognize those things and be able to intervene effectively. In the responder situation, what we have is we've got a lot of bleed over. And, we, in the United States at least, we have the fire department that kind of pseudo took over parts of EMS, but you have people that are doing ambulance work that want to be firefighters. Uh, and vice versa, and then you have police officers, which are like some of them are trained as EMTs, and you have volunteers, you have professional, you've got ALS BLS transporting services. And if I was to kind of remake things as they are, I would want to allow people to become more subspecialized within their roles. Have the police know that bleeding control, all of that stuff, that first aid, initial care, but ultimately allow for the integration of EMS into police services, and allow me, who I've devoted an entire career to emergency medical services, and I know those minutiae and I have those protocols and that experience, to intervene there, and then allow firefighters to do, their special rescue, do firefighting, do the things that, a firefighter is subspecialized and trained to do, and kind of avoid the skills dilution between the three, I guess you'd call them, branches of emergency services, because there is so much. And like, I used to be a part-time firefighter. I was a volunteer firefighter before that. And to be completely honest with you, I was never a good firefighter because I
Mhm.
didn't devote my time and energy to it.